Assalamu alaikum, welcome to this tutorial. Do subscribe to the channel before we start and share the videos with your friend. In this video, we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 4 Extended, Variant 4.1, May-June 2020. Let's read the first question. In 2018, Gretel earned $32,000. She paid tax of 24% on these earnings. Work out the amount she paid in tax in 2018. So whenever you want to find the percentage, we write the percentage, 24%. Percentage means you divide it by 100 and multiply by the amount that you have, which is 32,000. Just put in the calculator and you will get the answer, $7680. The next part, in 2019, Gretel's earnings increased by 7%. Work out her earnings in 2019. If you want to find increased percentage, you write down the amount here, which is 32,000. And we have to multiply it by, if it is increased, you write 100 plus 7 divided by 100. This will give you 1.07. You multiply by this and you will get the answer directly, which is 34,240. Now remember that if it was a decrease, then instead of the plus here, you will put a minus. And whatever answer you get, you will multiply with your present amount or total that you have. Part B. Gretel invests $5,000 at a rate of 2% per year compound interest. Calculate the value of her investment at the end of 3 years. This is really a very easy question. You just need to know your formula, which is A is equal to P bracket 1 plus R over 100 to the power of N. A is your amount or the value at the end of the period. Principal is P, rate of interest is R, years is written as N. So let's see what we have. We have principal, which is 5,000. Then rate of 2% per annum. So rate is 2%. And the value of the investment we have to find. Time period is 3 years. Therefore, amount is equal to principal, which is 5,000, 1 plus 2 over 100, bracket to the power of 3 years. This gives us $5,306.04. Part C. Let's read the question. 1 month, Gretel spent a total of $360 on presents. She spent 1/5 of this total on presents for her parents. She spent 2/3 of the remaining money on presents for her friends. She spent the rest of the money on presents for her sisters. Calculate the percentage of the $360 that she spent on presents for her sisters. We can solve this in a short way or a long way. If you understand, total of anything is 1. So if she spends 1/5 of the total for her parents, so how much does she not spend on her parents? To find that, we need to do 1 minus 1/5, which will give us 4/5. 4/5 of 360 she spends on other things and not on her parents. This is 288. Now for some reason, if you don't understand this short way, we can do it the long way. We find 1/5 of the money that she spends on her parents. This is 72. And then subtract this from the total. So 360 minus 72 is 280. This is the remaining money. Out of this 288, she spends 2/3 for her friends and the rest of the money on presents for her sisters. So the same way, if one is the total and out of that she spends 2/3 for her friends, so how much is going to remain? 1/3. 1/3 of the remaining money, which is 288, she spends on her sisters. This is 96. Calculate the percentage of the 360 that she spent on presents for her sisters. Whenever you want to find the percentage of something, write the amount that you got over the total amount and multiply by 100. This will give you 26.66 and we round it to one decimal place. So 26.7%. Part 1D. Arjun earned $36,515 in 2019. This was an increase of 9% on his earnings in 2018. Work out his earnings in 2018. This is the formula we use if the original value or amount is given and we multiply it by the percentage increase or decrease to get the new value. But in this case, we have the new value and we have to find the earlier value. So let's write that as earnings in 2018 is X. X times the percentage increase. Whenever there's a percentage increase, we take 100 plus 9, whatever the increase is there, and divide by 100. This will give you 1.09. If it is a decrease, you minus from 100, but the same formula will be applied. Multiplied by 1.09 gives us the new value. His present salary is 36,515. So this is a multiply. When you move to the other side, it will be a divide. And this will give us 33,500. This is an important formula which you can use for increase or decrease. In A, Arjun and Gretel each pay rent. In 2018, the ratio of the amount each paid in rent was Arjun 5 and Gretel 7. In 2019, the ratio of the amount each paid in rent was Arjun and Gretel 9:13. Arjun paid the same amount of rent in both 2018 and 2019. Gretel paid $290 more rent in 2019 than she did in 2018. Work out the amount Arjun paid in rent in 2019. A lot of information has been given to us. Now let's write that down. In 2018, Gretel's ratio was, in 2018, her ratio was 7/5 of Arjun's rent. In 2019, it was 13/9 of Arjun's rent. If I want to make them equal, if I want to put this equal in the middle, I have to also pay attention to this bit of information that she paid 290 more in 2019. So she paid 290 more. So if I want to make it equal, I will have to add that 290 here. So we have 7/5A plus 290 is equal to 13/9A. Let's bring the like terms together, the fractions together. 7/5A. We need to have a common denominator. Multiply by 5 here and 9 here. This will give us 65A minus 63A over 45. And this whole thing is equal to 290. this is a divide. When I move it to the other side, it will become a multiply. So 290 multiplied by 45 is equal to 65a minus 63a will give us 2a. 13,050. Again, 2a means 2 multiplied by a. Move it to the other side, it will be a divide. And this will give us 6525. So this is Arjun's rent in 2019. Question number 2. The heights H meters of the 120 boys in an athletic club are recorded. So total frequency is 120. And the table shows information about the heights of the boys. A1, write down the modal class. Modal means the highest number of frequency. So which class has the highest number of frequency? 1.5 till 1.6. That is 30, which is the highest frequency. So we write it as 1.5, 1.6. A2, calculate an estimate of the mean height. To find the mean height of the group data, we follow a formula, which is mean is equal to the sum of f times x over n. X is the midpoint, f is the frequency, and n is the total frequency. So what does all these things mean? Make a table like that, write down the data which is given to us, the height, and find the midpoint. How do we find the midpoint? You add these two numbers and divide by 2. So let me show you the first one. 1.3 plus 1.4 divided by 2 will give us 1.35. So that is your x, the midpoint. I found the midpoint here and wrote down for all the classes that we have and the corresponding frequency. So the midpoint of 1.3 and 1.4 is 1.35 and the frequency is 7. That's what we have written down here. Now multiply the frequency by the midpoint and write the answers here. After that, write down the total of this. This total will be 194.8 and the total frequency is 120. We already know that. So what is the mean equal to? The sum of f times x. The sign means the sum. We found the sum, which is 194.8 and divided by the total frequency, which is 120. And this will give us 1.6233. So we can round it to 2 decimals or 3 significant figures, 1.62. B1. One boy is chosen at random from the club. Find the probability that this boy has a height greater than 1.8. So 1.8 is here, greater than 1.8 is in the last class, and the frequency is 14. So we write down 14. Remember, when you are solving for probability, the favorable outcome or what you want will be on the top and the total outcome will be down. So total frequency is 120. You can simplify it. 14 divided by 120 will give us 7 over 60. B2. 3 boys are chosen at random from the club. Calculate the probability that one of the boys has a height greater than 1.8, which we already found, and the other 2 boys each have a height of 1.4 m or less. 3 boys are chosen at random from the club. Calculate the probability that one of the boys has a height greater than 1.8 meter and the other 2 boys each have a height of 1.4 meter or less. Let's suppose the first boy has a height greater than 1.8 meter. So how many boys have height greater than 1.8 meter? 14. And the probability we already found on the top, 14 over 120. The second boy has a height of 1.4 meter or less. That is 7. Remember, one boy has already been chosen. So out of the 120 boys, now how many boys are remaining? 119. And then we are going to choose the second boy, and the second boy is also going to be, sorry, not the second, the third boy is also going to be less than 1.4. So out of the 7, we have already chosen one boy. So now how many boys are remaining? 6 boys. And how many total boys are remaining? 118. So this is the answer. If the first one was greater than 1.8 and the other two were less than 1.4. But suppose the first boy was less than 1.4 and the second boy was less than 1.4 and the third boy was greater than 1.8. So it could be that this is the first choice. The second could be that the first boy is less than 1.4, the second boy is less than 1.4, and the third boy is more than 1.8. Or it could be that the first is less than 1.4, the second is more than 1.8, and the third is less than 1.4. They did not give us the order, so it could be any of these 3 options. That is the reason we multiply this frequency by 3. This will give us 21 over 20,060. I hope you understood this, why we are multiplying by 3, because there could be 3 possibilities. C1. Use the frequency table on page 4 to complete the cumulative frequency table. This is the table that they are referring to, and cumulative frequency means you add the two numbers and write the answer here. So 7 plus 18 is going to be 25. 25 plus 30 is going to be the next one. It will give us 55. Now 55 plus 24 will give us 79, and 79 plus 27 will give us 106. 106 plus 14 will give us 120. So that's how we find the cumulative frequency. C2, on the grid, draw a cumulative frequency diagram to show this information. So first we'll mark the points. From till 1.4, we have 7. So each year, if you can see, we have 5 lines. So 0 to 10. So each line is 2. So that will give us 7 as here somewhere. So mark it here, 1.4. 1.5 is 25, 20, 22, 24, 25. Same way, mark all the points. I have plotted the points. Now we have to join them together. Make a nice curve. So this is how it will look. Let's move to the next question. Part D. Use your diagram to find an estimate for the median height. Median means the middle of the frequency. So what is our frequency? It is 120. Therefore, median will be 120 divided by 260. This is the position. And then from the x-axis, you have to find the height because we are looking for the height. 60 is here. And when you go down, you will get this. Between each point, you can see that 1.6 and 1.7, there are 7 lines. So each one represents 1 decimal. So this is 1.6, then 1.61, 1.62. Even if you got your answer as 1.63, that will be acceptable. Next, we want to find the 40th percentile. Whenever you want to find a percentile, you will write 40 over 100 multiplied by 120. So we divide by 100 and multiply by our frequency, which is 120. And we will get 48. Again, this is the cumulative frequency that we are talking about. So where is 48? It's here. Let's go down and check. The answer is 1.57. Again, if you get the answer between 1.57 to 1.58, that will be acceptable. 3a. We have been given a formula and we have to find the value of S when U is 5.2, T is 7, and A is 1.6. A very easy 2-mark question. So we just have to replace everything that we have. S is equal to U, which is 5.2, multiplied by 7, plus half, and A is 1.6 times T square, which is 7 square. Brackets, the reason I'm putting brackets is sometimes, children, they make mistake when they are putting it in the calculator. So that's why. And this will give us 75.6. So that's the answer. The next question we have to simplify. So we are going to write down the like terms together. The A with the A. So 3A minus A, and the B with the B. No changing of signs or anything. Now, if there is nothing written before a variable, it means there is a 1. So 3a minus 1a will give us 2a. And negative 5 plus 2 will give us negative 3b. The second part we have to multiply, and for a question like this, if you're a little bit confused, multiply the numerator. So 5 multiplied by 9 is 45x. And 3 multiplied by 20 will give you 60, and there is an x. The x will get cancelled, and 45 over 60 will give you 3 over 4. In the next question, we have to solve for x. So the x is in the denominator. When we move it to the other side, it will be a multiply. 15 is equal to negative 3 multiplied by x, which is negative 3x. The negative 3 will move to the other side. It will be a divide. You'll get negative 5 is equal to x. For the next question, expand the bracket. 4 multiplied by 5 is 20, and 4 multiplied by negative 3 will give you negative 12. X is equal to 23. 20 will move to the other side. 23, the positive 20, when it moves to the other side, will become negative 20. So negative 12x is equal to 3. This is a multiply. When I move to the other side, it will be a divide. The answer is negative 1 over 4. The next question, simplify. We have been given a bracket and a number and x inside. Remember, the power which is outside is for the number which is inside also. So we will write 27 to the power of 2 over 3 and x to the power of 9 to the power of 2 over 3. This will give us 9. And if there is an x and there's a power inside the bracket and a power outside the bracket, we multiply the powers. So 9 multiplied by 2 over 3. That will give you 6. The answer is 9x to the power of 6. Expand and simplify. A very easy question. First, we multiply this term with the first term of the other bracket. So 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, and x multiplied by x, x squared. Then 3x we multiply by the second term. 3x multiplied by y will give us 3xy. Then negative 5y multiplied by 2x. This will give us negative 10xy. And negative 5y multiplied by y will give us negative 5y multiplied by y squared. These are the same terms So you can add them together. 3 minus 10 will give you negative 7 xy minus 5y square. This brings us to the end of this tutorial. From question 4 onwards, watch the part 2. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.